Hi there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, July 19th, 2020. I have been guided today to film from my vision board and my butterflies, and to channel and talk about the current transits. So why are understanding the transits important in the first place? So to me, I liken it to knowing what the weather forecast is. Like, you don't have to know what the weather forecast is. I'd like to know if there's an 80% chance of thunderstorms or not. I mean, it doesn't mean you're going to get rained on but it's not the day to plan a picnic. It's that kind of a thing. So today the sun's at 27 degrees Cancer. Tomorrow we'll have a new moon, which means the sun and the moon will be together in the skies. It'll be at 28 degrees Cancer. So this is the second new moon we've had in Cancer. A month ago, we had the new moon solar eclipse at 0 degrees Cancer. So it's not, usually we just have like one new moon in each sign. So to have, we're getting this lesson of what we need to learn with Cancer. It's being emphasized big time for us. And it has been emphasized. So what does Cancer represent? Cancer is the divine feminine. It's nurturing. It's the moon. It's how we take care of ourselves. It's intuition. It's the mother, the divine feminine. And then Capricorn is the divine masculine. It's earth. It's our rules, our structures, and how we've always done things. So we've been having the north and the south nodes move through Cancer and Capricorn for the last year and a half. Now the nodes, which move backwards, and they kind of move retrograde all the time. We have north node now at 28 degrees Gemini, and the south node at 28 degrees Sag. We have Mercury. Today it is at 8 degrees of Cancer, or at the moment. And so we're having all these energies emphasizing the Cancer. We've already been in a learning cycle for the last year and a half with the north node having moved through Cancer, guiding all of us to listen more into our intuition, be better at self-care and nurturing ourselves, right? The divine feminine within each of us, masculine, whether we're male or female, we all have the divine feminine that operates within us, and we all have the divine masculine that operates within it. The healthier it is, the better we can draw from those energies. If we've got woundedness around mom and dad issues, it can really show up in these areas. So if you've had woundedness with your mother, for example, I guarantee you've had those issues brought up to the surface for the last year and a half. Same thing with father. So it's like the parental stuff, the wounding from childhood has been brought up for like everybody right now. And then so the sun moving through Cancer has been a revisit of this. The moon going through also. New beginning, new time for release, new time to plant seeds tomorrow. But we have this opposition with Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, which wants to kind of put the kibosh on new plans. It's like, no, it's the Gestapo coming in and shutting things down. Pluto is right next to it in the skies. Pluto is death and transformation. It may have been demoted as a planet, but Pluto will transform whatever it is in an aspect with, whether it's a conjunction or opposition, squares. There's a lot of activity then, and they've been meeting up in the sky since January. So think of everything that's happened beginning of January. We've had our structures, our systems, how we do things completely transform. Pluto transforming our world in lots of ways, and our personal rules, how we've been spending our time, how we organize things. That has also been transformed on a personal level. Jupiter is also with Pluto and Capricorn up in the sky. So whenever there are three or more planets in the same area, it's called a stellium, and it is extra potent. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion, expands things. So it's shining the light on this takedown. Our structures are being brought down to have a new one built in its place. I mean, the positive news is that on the other side of all this transformation, we have a whole beautiful new paradigm being built that's going to be more in balance with the divine feminine and the divine masculine in everybody's life. There's not going to be this out of balance that we've been dealing with with the patriarchal world ruling things and suppressing the divine feminine, or men suppressing women. We see how that's shifting more and more. The Me Too movement has been coming up to really shift that kind of theme. And so we're just seeing these kind of things play out. So Saturn actually moved up into Aquarius in January. I find it interesting that when it was moving into that, that's when we were passing laws where the rule maker here, we were passing laws, Aquarius for humanity. We all got checks, or those of us that pay taxes got checks. That's an example of Saturn, the rule maker, moving into the sign of Aquarius, where human beings are what matters. That's what we build, what's going to be important, what our structures are being built around. Whereas in Capricorn, it's about our stuff. It's our things of the earth. So it went up almost to 2 degrees Aquarius, Saturn did, before it started going retrograde. So it's going to keep going backwards until it starts going forward. That's why I feel like, and also Pluto and Jupiter are retrograde too. So all this demolition stuff, all this stuff that's been already stirred up, these outer planets don't go back direct again till the end of the year, and don't move into new signs like December, January is when the outer planets start moving into a new theme. So we're revisiting the same themes in terms of this deconstruction of the old paradigm and the rebirth of a new one. Everyone listening to their intuition more. That's an example of this new paradigm that's being established right now. Mercury was retrograde. It's now direct in Cancer. So Mercury is the planet of communication. It's ruled by Mercury, which rules the head, but it's been in the sign of Cancer, which is extra feelings. So we might have extra bursting into tears for no reason. And there's a couple of reasons for that beyond just Mercury and Cancer. But so it's really, everybody's kind of been extra sensitive with the sun and the moon and Mercury and Cancer. And then we have Venus, which had gone retrograde and is now moving forward again in Gemini. Venus is the planet that represents our heart, our love, what we want to put our passion and energy into, what we love, who we love, our relationships. And again, this sign that represents getting in touch with your feelings and what you're passionate about has been in Gemini, which is ruled by Mercury, which makes people want to jump up in their head to try to figure things out. And then it's like impossible to try to figure things out right now. You cannot figure your way through. You can feel your way through. That's the lessons right now. One of the many lessons that are going on right now. Okay, here's another heavy duty thing that's been going on. Mars went into Aries. Today it's at 12 degrees Aries. So it was going through the beginning of Aries was when we were all sort of getting in touch with, how do I feel about myself? Am I putting energy into what I want to personally put my energy into? But Mars is at its homes in Aries. Usually Mars transits a sign. It takes 6 weeks to go through a sign. It's going to park it in Aries till January, 6 months. It's way longer than usual. So it's going to stay in its home turf way longer because it's going to go up and then turn retrograde. So Mars in Aries I've been noticing it, people being extra pissy. People who do not resolve their own inner wounds have a tendency, just in general, to project them onto their environment and blame people around them for the stuff that they don't want to deal with. So it's making this principle extra, like if people you're going to see the most anger and coming out of people who are not doing their work. People who are doing their work, are owning their stuff, oh, this is my stuff, are going to be probably having a more internal experience of this. May have feeling more pissy within yourself, but maybe not blurting out at others. So Mars last week it went over Chiron. Chiron represents the wounded healer. And then Chiron went retrograde the same day Mercury went direct. So it's like, well, let's go back and Chiron brings up, it's called the wounded healer. And so wherever Chiron is in your birth chart is an area where you have experienced wounding in this lifetime that's a carryover from past lives, meaning it's your karma. Like there's no accident where you're getting wounded. You're not just a victim. So, but it can also often be unconscious, like we may not see the wounding. But when Chiron is activated in the chart, it brings up and out whatever the wounding is. Now, the glyph for Chiron looks like a key. And that is the secret to Chiron, is when you heal the woundedness, the area of weakness or woundedness becomes an area of strength instead. So it's nothing to fear. It's actually, we're all here on this planet, I believe, to heal and evolve and grow as a soul. And we carry with us into this lifetime the karma from previous lifetimes. We don't know what that is. Even me, I can see lots of past lives and do past life regressions for folks. But it's really still unfathomable. We can start to see the picture. You can definitely tell what your karma is based on what cycles do you tend to repeat over and over and over again. Where have you been wounded as a child? And then you just keep experiencing that same wounding, right? If you experience a pattern where you're getting wounded in the same place, it's something within you that needs to heal and shift and be brought out. And then you won't keep experiencing the woundedness. You'll be tested, but it won't be hurtful anymore. And you'll go, oh, that's right. That's when I don't engage with this person who's projecting their stuff onto me. Instead, I'm going to take a deep breath, not take it personally, pause, be calm, and not let them dump their stuff, whatever that needs to be. Whereas in the past, you might have overreacted, and that's not me. You're wrong, and like feel like you have to jump in there and defend. Like that's often the pattern with people who have not done their work. They'll project it onto their partners, the people closest to them. You're doing this. And then that's where a lot of the fights break down. No, I'm not, da-da-da-da-da. So the more people are owning their stuff and taking responsibility for whatever's going down in their life, the less conflict they have in their life. It always makes me laugh when guys on a dating profile go like, no drama, please. I'm thinking they're the very ones that create it. They're blaming it on the other person. She is such a drama queen. They're not seeing the causes that they set that create an emotional overreaction from their partners. I'm just using that as an example because I see it a whole lot in private readings with clients. So Mars went over Chiron, the wounded healer. It was exactly conjuncted as Chiron turned retrograde. So, I had a friend I've been close with for 15 years explode at me just out of the blue. Totally caught me off guard because it was such an unexpected thing. I did overreact. I wasn't expecting it coming. There's certain people to expect that they could be explosive and cray-cray, the ones that aren't doing the work you want to take a wide orb around right now. But you can just have these incoming things that explode. So what that showed me, I'm a triple Aries, is how quickly I can have a reaction to something. Because the Mars moving over the early degrees of Aries was personal for me. I've got my Mercury, planet of communication, at 1 degree. My Sun is at 5. My Moon's at 22. So this Mars going over my personal inner planets was like, it felt like an activation for me of like moving forward. But then crossing over Chiron, it was bringing up my woundedness, which is impulsive reaction. I've gotten way better of that as I've grown and developed over time, but it's still an area where I have to watch it as a triple Aries of like just exploding and reacting. Also jumping in too quickly into things, initiating things and not following through. Those are sort of some beginning of Aries qualities that I've healed and gotten better at over time. So Mars is going to go up almost out of Aries. It's going to go to late degrees of Aries. It's already crossed over Chiron. Next, it crosses over Black Lilith, which is sitting in Aries as well. What degree is it today? Let's see. Black Lilith is sitting, looks like, at 19 degrees. And so that represents our fears, our deep-seated fears. So we've got our deep wounds and our deep fears kind of in Aries right now. And so wherever Aries might fall in your chart, you might find an extra activation of that. And for me, Aries is in my 7th house of relationships. So where is this wounding it's coming up for me is like with my relationships with other people. I had a friend blow their stuff out at me, right? And even the fears is showing up. And that's just an example of how you can use the astrological pieces and then look deeper into your chart to see how it's personally affecting you. So Mars it's gone over Chiron, which is activated for everyone. Everyone has had their wounds up in their face. whether you're conscious about that or not. And again, people who aren't are just going to be blaming people around them. It's going to go over the fears next. So it's like it's time to clear out the stuff that's in our way. It's going to go up to, I think it's like 28 something Aries. And then in September, it goes retrograde. And then it goes back over our fears again. It'll go back over Chiron again. Not only that, Eris is also in Aries. Now, Eris, Mars itself is the god of war. Eris was Aries' sister on the battlefield. She was right there on the front line, not afraid to, she took glee in murder. She's a ferocious, powerful energy. It's an aspect. Everybody has Eris and Aries because it's got a 350-year cycle. So everybody that's on the planet now has Eris in their natal chart in Aries. So, which is the warrior within, and like, don't F with me, I'll take you down. And so then we've been having these activations of all this volatile energy, everyone, right? And so we've already been in this paradigm since Columbine of people they don't just take themselves out anymore. If they take as many people out with them when they cross, so that's been the paradigm that's been around for a while. And with all this stuck stuff and Aries stirring up anger, I expect, it's already been showing up. I predicted this in a couple videos ago, and it is definitely showing up. There's a lot more of these random shootings, and it's just more. That's just going to continue to be the theme. These crazy people going off and taking people off around them. And so this is where you have to listen to your intuition. You can be protected from these sort of scenarios if you listen to your own inner voice and do not override it. Like, all right, I got to go to the grocery store today. I need to do. If something within goes, oh, no, don't. I don't, for some reason, I just don't want to get in the car. I just don't want to go. That may be your inner voice protecting you from the cray-cray that's going to go off in the parking lot, right? So you just have to listen to your intuition for protection right now. So Mars is going to go up there and be bedfellows with Eris, which, guess what, is square Pluto. Death and transformation. So Eris has been locked into a square with Pluto ever since the protests started. They stay in a square for the rest of this year. So we've got this backdrop of death and transformation, square war goddess. And then we're going to have Mars, the god of war, joining this party and squaring Saturn, Pluto, and Jupiter retrograde. The gnarliest period of this year has not even arrived yet. That's the bad news. That's why I have no makeup on, and I'm not going to try to make it pretty for y'all. It's not pretty. It is duck and cover time. It is up with the spiritual practices, up with the self-care to protect yourself and nurture yourself so that you aren't getting this volatile energy infiltrating your system. If you're empathic like I am, you can just get out of sorts because you're picking up everybody else that's out of sorts right now. When Mars goes retrograde in September, from September to November, it's about the 10th, I think, of September it goes retrograde, and then it goes direct like the 13th of November. So this takes us through the election period where things are going to go retrograde. This is a mark for war, big time. Internal war, war in your relationships, war at work, war in our country, civil war, war on the planet. Death and transformation, square Mars, the god of war, conjunct Eris, the goddess of war. You think it's been bad? You haven't seen it. Not only that, we've got Uranus and Taurus, which at any point is shaking up the earth. Since it moved into Taurus 2 years ago, that's when extra volcanoes started going on, like the volcanoes in Hawaii started going off 2 summers ago. And so I'm really feeling at any point, we've got 6 more years of Uranus and Taurus. So this volatile energy of it literally shaking, because Taurus is the earth. So Uranus, which is a spiritual planet, it only shakes and breaks things down to replace it with something better. But still, that's another piece that's there in the puzzle of and it's sudden unexpected things. Taurus is unexpected takedowns, unexpected shakeups, unexpected volcanic eruptions or earthquakes. And I have been feeling the earthquakes and volcanoes very strongly. I don't get the sense of when yet, but I know that they're going to be in conjunction with the war things going on. Like, people are going to be walking around stunned. I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening at the same time this is happening. It's kind of like, I when I was a kid, I heard the story of this little girl that was playing outside in the vacant lot beside her house, and she got into, it was like a toddler, it got into ant bed. And as she was like stomping around because she was getting stung by fire ants, guess what also comes around? A rattlesnake comes into the picture and bites her. What the F? Like, that's kind of the scenario. But again, if you're listening to your intuition, you won't be out in these volatile places. Your higher self has the desire to keep you safe and secure. If you listen to your intuition, it wants to nurture you. The divine feminine wants to rock you and nurture and cuddle. And so that's why it's so important to be listening to this intuitive voices within us right now, so that we can know our direction. And don't listen to the outside stuff. You have to go within, because nobody knows what's going on. Everybody's running around with like chickens with their heads cut off right now. You can't really look to anybody outside yourself for direction. You have to really download it. You've got the North and the South nodes. North node in Gemini is this duplicitous nature, that this Jekyll-Hyde piece. On a positive end, it's inventiveness, so like new technologies and new inventions, and people be open to new things in their minds, since Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which rules the mind. So the North node the nodes take about 1.5 years to go through a sign. And so it just started into Gemini. So we just started this new theme. We've been in the theme of Cancer and Capricorn for the last 1.5 years. So we've been really hammering this, getting the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And now we're switching gears. We're moving into Gemini and Sag. And so Gemini is about new inventiveness, but also it's the twins, the Jekyll-Hyde, can't believe what you hear. It rules media, so we cannot trust what we're hearing in the media right now, and won't be able to trust it for the next 1.5 years. Again, what does your intuition say? Does your intuition say, that feels like BS? And then the South node in Sag is also going to be having people change up what they believe to be true. Like, Sag is like our belief system. It's ruled by Jupiter, and so it's like, it's also foreign travel. It's higher spiritual knowledge. People are going to be picking up new spiritual modalities they've never been interested in before, searching new paths, new directions. That's sort of a nice theme, but it's also going to be bringing up the belief systems that haven't been working for us and that we need to shift and change. Okay, what else do I see going on? Neptune is at 20 degrees Pisces right now. It's been holding the space. 2 is a feeling, and 0 is like to hold space for. So we're like holding space. Neptune, our intuition in Pisces, for spiritual downloads. So this is a beautiful aspect that's happening, is there's like a portal for spiritual downloaded information. Super strong. So if you tune into spiritual practices and you listen to your intuition, it's easy, clear direction coming through. It's very loud and clear direction coming through if you listen to intuition. So that's a positive that's coming in. And also Ceres, which represents how we like to be nurtured, is also in Pisces right now. What degree is it right now? Let's see here. Okay, so it's at 12 degrees. And so this is listening to that psychic, sensitive self about how to care for ourselves. Also, Pisces represents the unconscious and the subconscious that rules the 12th house. And so it's, how do we care for ourselves? By kind of drilling down deep, looking at the stuff, letting these planets that are stirring things up act as lancing for our wounds, and letting those wounds come up and out to clear our system so that we're not still operating from our woundedness, that we operate from a place of healing and healedness instead. Let's see, what else am I feeling and seeing? So the sun's going to be moving into Leo this week. So Leo represents, like, when the sun moves into Leo, it's like a social time. It's time to follow our heart. Like, where it's been going through Cancer, it's more like wanting to be inside, and Cancers like to be in their home and in the shell. Of course, we've been forced in our home. So with moving into Leo, we're going to want to get out there on the stage, and some people just are not going to be able to help themselves. They're just going to be pushing themselves out there. But it's also a great time, like this would be a great time to set your intentions of what you do want to manifest. Again, like, do a vision board. Come on, I just like cut things out of magazines. For me, this is like what I want to manifest in relationships, everything inside the heart, and then everything else is around it is what I want to manifest. So it's a great time to do vision boards, to get clear about what you do want in your life. So setting that intention, writing things down, like what you want to manifest. What does your heart desire? Not what you think you can do. What do I want to do? What do I desire to do? And then letting yourself be guided through that. And so as it moves into Leo, Leo's great for manifesting from the heart. So you set your intentions on this new moon, and then every day you carry this vision of what you're wanting as it moves through Leo and into the first degrees of Virgo, which is next. I guarantee you that if you set a new intention and tend it and honor it in a positive way every day through the month of, like, as it's going through Leo and into Virgo, if you keep tending the positive vision, it's like you set the campfire, but you have to keep the campfire lit. You have to keep your passion alive towards what you're wanting, because right now the boogaboos are right there. The fears and the worries and everything is so pervasive on the planet. The collective is terrified. So you have to raise your energy up above this pulsing terror to be able to see your way clear, where you can operate and be in a creative space, not operating out of fear, but out of manifesting what you want. So it's a great time to be making your plans. It may not be, it's not really a time of taking action while these outer planets are in retrograde, or you can try to launch things. But it's going to be really difficult to get things off the ground right now with these outer planets retrograde. Saturn's retrograde, Pluto's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde. Thankfully, the personal planets are all direct now. So Mercury and Venus and Mars, the personal planet. So this is a time where you can set your personal goals, dreams, and ambitions and get clear about that. You just may not be able to take the action to make them happen in the world, but great time for visualization, great time to try to manifest your dreams. We are creators. We create. It's like we're big projector screens. Like whatever we're holding in terms of our beliefs, what we say to ourselves, what we're feeling, the actions we take, what we say out loud, what we think, these all set causes to manifest, right? Your current life is a reflection of what you believe to be true about everything in the world. Like, for example, I've been on the spiritual path, my Buddhist path, where I chant every morning and evening for 36 years. I've been doing professional psychic work for 32 years, letting my intuition guide the way for me in my work. I've let my intuition guide the way for me in homeschooling all 6 of my children. This new force in the home, I mean, my youngest is 17, my oldest is 33. I homeschooled all 6 of my children. So I have 3.5 decades of homeschooling experience because I figured out that's what I should do. No, I was feeling my way through. I was trusting how I was guided. Little did I know that when all the world would crash down and people would be forced into their home, my youngest was already homeschooling. We didn't have any shift around that. I'd been following my intuition. 90% of my psychic work was already on the phone or online before COVID hit. I felt like I had this unique raft for this flood. It's go time right now for me and my work. So because I've been cultivating and putting all these energies to what I desire, this is a beautiful time for me personally. So it doesn't have to be a horrible time just because it's thunderstorms outside, right? Find the light within. Find the things that ignite your passions. Don't try to figure it out. So the moon is the fastest moving planet. Our feelings are what gives us information first. The feelings are connected into the intuition. The mind is supposed to come as a backseat to the, like, if you're driving a car, the feeling should be driving the car. It's the way that you feel your way through. Oh, this feels right. Oh, that doesn't feel right. Like, it's how you can, it's also in the navigation system. The mind, we're so programmed that the mind is king in our society, in particular here in America. And the more you study, the more you develop the mind, the better you are. But the problem with a strongly developed mind is it can really block your intuition. It makes you even more afraid to trust your intuition because you don't want to step away from what you have learned, right? And you're going to have to move forward. To survive on this planet right now, you're going to have to break it down, or you're going to be one of these that gets taken under this tsunami wave right now. It can be a wonderful, exciting time to manifest, to get clear about, okay, this is what I want for my future. This is what I'm going to make happen. I believe it. So back to the projection screen. You got to look at what you believe. So if you're holding negative beliefs, unconscious, subconscious, it's going to get in the way of you manifesting what you want. If you're telling yourself shitty things inside, if you have negative things coming out your mouth, if you don't take action towards your dreams, the very smallest action you can take towards a dream is to stop and visualize the end game. What will it feel like when I'm doing work I really love and I'm getting paid well for and I'm excited to do my work every day? I mean, that's my current reality. It feels good. Take yourself to the feeling place. The mind is supposed to take the back seat to the feeling. So this is how it works. The intuition gets the download. Ooh. And the mind goes, yeah, oh, cool. I can get behind that. And then how can we take action today towards that? That's the formula for manifesting what you want. And then you just simply, every day, what today do I feel guided to do? What today do I feel guided to put my energy into? Not what should I do today? What do I need to do today? And that's it. And it takes a while. The more you tune in though and try to listen, you can hear it. We all are wired with intuition. Psyched up for me is everyone is psychic. Everyone can develop their own intuitive voice. You need help with that? That's my number one work. I do readings using astrology and tarot, past life regressions, rebirthing, psychic development, instruction, personal learning classes. I do house clearings. So if you want to get in touch with me, my website's being revamped right now. You can email me at bringoutthebuddha@gmail.com. If you'd like to donate, my Venmo is Karen-Marie-16, as in sweet 16. And the picture of me is playing guitar on Venmo. So if you want to make a donation, I'd love to receive a donation. If you're getting something out of these videos, love for you to just send me a love offering donation. It'd be super awesome. You want a reading? I can help you out with